Every evening, something strange happens above your home. One moment, birds are everywhere. A robin pulling worms from the grass, sparrows moving between fences, crows calling from distant rooftops. The sky feels alive. And then suddenly, silence. The branches stop moving. The feeders sit untouched. The air itself feels emptier, as if life quietly disappeared from the world in less than an hour. Most people never question it. They assume the birds simply fly somewhere else nearby and continue their lives hidden beyond human sight. But the truth is far stranger than most people realize. Tonight, while you sleep, thousands of birds around your neighborhood will enter a hidden world almost nobody ever sees. Some will lower their body temperature just to survive until morning. Some will squeeze themselves into impossibly small spaces inside dead trees. Others will remain half awake all night long, watching the darkness with one eye open while the other half of their brain sleeps. And high above your roof, invisible in the darkness, entire rivers of migrating birds may already be crossing the sky in complete silence. The backyard you think becomes empty at night is not empty at all. It is simply hidden. And once you understand what really happens after sunset, you may never look at birds the same way again. As daylight begins to disappear, birds do not randomly vanish. Most species follow extremely precise routines that they repeat every single evening with almost perfect consistency. A cardinal that visits your yard every morning may spend the entire winter sleeping inside the same dense bush only a few feet away from your house, hidden so carefully within the branches that you could walk past it every day and never know it was there. For birds, nighttime is not simply about rest. It is about survival. A sleeping bird is vulnerable. Owls hunt in darkness. Cats move silently through neighborhoods. Even cold itself becomes deadly after sunset. So every decision a bird makes before nightfall matters. Where it sleeps, how exposed it is, how much warmth it can preserve. One bad choice can mean it never wakes up again. That is why many birds disappear into the thickest vegetation they can find, long before the sky becomes completely dark. Evergreen trees become nighttime shelters. Dense hedges become invisible fortresses. Cavities inside old trees become life-saving chambers, protecting tiny bodies from freezing temperatures. And some birds survive the night in ways that sound almost impossible. Chickadees, for example, are among the smallest birds in many backyards, yet they endure winter nights that would kill most animals their size within hours. To survive, they enter a controlled state of hypothermia. Their body temperature drops dramatically. Their heart rate slows. Their metabolism decreases to conserve precious energy. Imagine a creature weighing less than a few coins surviving freezing darkness by carefully lowering its own body temperature every single night, hidden inside a tiny cavity in a tree while snow covers the world outside. Most people see birds as fragile little creatures flying carelessly through the sky. But the reality is far more extraordinary. Birds are biological survival machines operating with incredible precision every hour of the day and night. But perhaps the strangest part is this. Sleeping birds are not fully asleep the way humans are. Many species experience something scientists call unihemispheric sleep. Half of the brain rests while the other half remains alert. One eye closed, one eye still watching. Even in darkness, birds continue monitoring the world around them. The snap of a branch, the movement of leaves, the distant sound of wings, a predator moving nearby. Their nervous systems remain active enough to react within seconds if danger appears. So when you look outside your window late at night and see an empty backyard, you are not looking at absence. You are looking at hidden awareness. Birds tucked deep inside trees, fences, rooftops, cavities and bushes, silently listening to the darkness while the world sleeps around them. And then there are the birds that do something even more mysterious. Some species do not stay in your neighborhood at all during the night. They leave. Entire migrations happen almost completely unnoticed because they occur while humans sleep. Millions of birds travel under the cover of darkness every year, navigating enormous distances using stars, magnetic fields, and instincts. Scientists still do not fully understand. On certain nights during spring and autumn, the sky above your house may contain thousands of invisible travelers, moving silently across entire continents. Tiny birds crossing oceans, songbirds flying for hundreds of miles without stopping, creatures weighing only a few grams surviving journeys that seem physically impossible. Most people never notice because it happens in silence, hidden inside darkness itself. But above your home tonight, nature may already be moving on a scale larger than you could ever imagine. And the deeper scientists study birds at night, the stranger their hidden world becomes. And the deeper scientists study birds at night, the stranger their hidden world becomes. Because darkness does not stop the lives of birds. In many ways, it reveals how extraordinary they truly are. During the day, birds seem familiar to us. Small creatures hopping across sidewalks, resting on fences, singing from rooftops. We think we understand them because we see them constantly. But night transforms everything. The same robin you watched pulling worms from the grass this morning becomes part of a hidden survival system unfolding silently around your neighborhood while you sleep. Even the sounds of the night itself become part of this invisible network. A distant owl calling through the trees, the sudden explosion of wings in darkness, a single alarm cry echoing from somewhere you cannot see. Every sound means something to the birds listening from hidden branches and cavities nearby. Researchers studying bird behavior have discovered that nighttime communication is far more active than most people imagine. Birds resting inside dense vegetation continue responding to danger signals throughout the night. One startled bird can trigger movement across an entire area within seconds. The backyard that appears completely still at midnight may actually be filled with quiet reactions humans never notice. Tiny bodies shifting inside trees, eyes opening in darkness, hearts suddenly accelerating after the sound of a predator moving below. Nature does not fully sleep. It simply becomes quieter, more hidden, more difficult to see. And perhaps that is why so many people feel strangely emotional when hearing birds at dawn. Because without realizing it, what you are hearing is survival. Every morning, song represents a creature that successfully endured another dangerous night. Another battle against cold, hunger, predators, exhaustion. The peaceful sounds of birds outside your window each morning are the result of countless invisible struggles that unfolded while the world slept. A chickadee surviving freezing temperatures inside a hollow tree. A cardinal remaining motionless for hours, hidden deep inside a thorny bush. A migrating bird crossing hundreds of miles through darkness, guided only by ancient instincts written into its body long before human civilization existed. And then there are the migration nights, the nights most people will never truly comprehend. Imagine stepping outside after midnight during peak migration season and looking into a sky that appears completely empty. No movement, no sound, nothing unusual at all. Yet above you, thousands of birds may already be traveling silently through darkness. Entire rivers of life, crossing invisible pathways over cities, forests, farms, and oceans. Scientists using weather radar discovered that these migrations are so massive they sometimes appear like storms moving across radar systems. Not rain, not clouds, birds, millions of them, flying through the darkness above sleeping neighborhoods, while almost nobody below has any idea it is happening. Some species travel hundreds or even thousands of miles this way. Tiny hummingbirds crossing the Gulf of Mexico in non-stop flights that push their bodies to the edge of survival. Songbirds navigating using stars hidden behind clouds. Creatures weighing less than a handful of coins carrying ancient maps inside their instincts. The deeper humans study bird migration, the more impossible it begins to feel. How does a bird born only months earlier know exactly where to go? How does it navigate oceans, storms, entire continents without roads, without language, without technology? Even now, science still cannot fully explain every detail of how birds accomplish these journeys with such precision year after year. And maybe that is the most fascinating part of all. Birds live beside us every day, yet most of their lives remain hidden from human eyes. We notice them when they sing outside our windows, or gather around feeders, but we rarely think about what happens after they disappear into the evening shadows. We rarely imagine the hidden intelligence required simply to survive one winter night. We rarely consider that while we sleep inside warm homes, countless tiny creatures outside are navigating darkness, cold, hunger, and danger with astonishing precision every single night of their lives. Tonight, when the sun goes down and the branches outside become still, pause for a moment before you close the curtains. Somewhere nearby, birds are already disappearing into thick trees, hidden cavities, rooftops, and bushes. Some are lowering their body temperature to survive until dawn. Some are listening carefully to every sound in the darkness around them. And high above your roof, invisible against the night sky, migrating birds may already be crossing entire states while the world below remains asleep. The silence of the night does not mean the birds are gone. It means they have entered the hidden part of their lives, the part humans almost never see. And once you realize that an ordinary backyard never feels ordinary again, if this changed the way you see the world outside your window, share this video with someone who loves nature, birds, or the hidden mysteries most people never notice. And if you want more stories about the secret lives unfolding quietly around us every day, subscribe to Secret Instinct. There is an entire hidden world waiting in the dark.